You're going to start over here on the very left side of the dash. This would be the driver door. It's a long way down there, so this will probably be looked upon and maybe as an emergency exit. I don't think you'll be going in and out of here very often. You're going to be most likely normally using the main entrance on the passenger side, but it is available if needed. There's also a sliding window here. It can also be used as an emergency exit. There's a slider window on this side, and over on the passenger side, another slider window over there for ventilation and for also an emergency exit. We have power mirrors, remote control mirrors here in the armrest, and also for those of you who have vehicles located where it goes below freezing, we've got heated mirrors. Fog lights built into the bumper, labeled there fog lights, normal headlight controls, and for a map light, this is your rotary switch for changing the intensity of the instrument panel lighting. If you move that rotary knob all the way up, as you see it there now, it gives you also a driver map light. Below that, we have a battery boost switch, labeled here battery boost switch on and off. The vehicle has a dual battery system. It has a batteries called chassis batteries or engine start batteries, and also has what's called auxiliary batteries for the 12-volt lighting, other 12-volt items in the main part of the vehicle. Let's say that you have one of those two battery systems go weak or dead. Let's say you're trying to either start the engine or you're over here trying to start the generator. By pressing and holding the battery boost, emphasize having to hold it, press and hold the battery boost, you can then either start the engine or the generator. That momentarily couples the two battery systems together, as the name implies, giving you a boost to get started. To the left of that, to the left of our battery boost, is our HWH computerized leveling system. There are 4 hydraulic jacks at the 4 corners of the vehicle, and once the auto level sequence is started, by first having the transmission in park, the parking brake on, foot operated, where my left foot is there, foot operated parking brake on, the ignition key either in the forward, turn it toward the driver accessory position, or turn it toward the front of the vehicle to the ignition on position. You'll notice that the jack controls light up and the jack control system has power. The vehicle is already leveled. Right now, as we're looking at it, you're going to see 4 red lights, 4 red indicators there telling us that the 4 jacks are down around the little drawing there of the vehicle, and the vehicle is level and stable. To restore the jacks, if we were going to move the vehicle right now, you would press the auto store button on the left center there of the panel, and that will bring the jacks back up to their drive-away position. All 4 red lights will go out once the storing operation has completed. And down here where it says travel mode, a small light lighting up in green will come on, telling you that as far as the jacks are concerned, it's okay to travel. To level the vehicle, upper left corner where it says auto level, pressing that button with power already to the jack control panel will cause again the 4 jacks to go down to the ground and raise the vehicle to a level and stable position. It's optional to use the jacks if you're already in a fairly level parking place. If you're not going to be using the internet satellite, that would be optional to use the jacks. But if the parking place where you're located is out of level, or you're going to be having the internet satellite dish up, you want to minimize the rocking back and forth of the vehicle as people are coming on and off or moving around inside, then at that time you'd want to use the jacks. There's a safety issue on the jacks. When you choose your parking place, try not to choose a parking spot that's uphill. If you are uphill, the rear jacks are going to try to bring the rear of the vehicle up a lot to get it level, and it can actually bring the rear of the vehicle up high enough to bring the rear wheels off the ground. With the rear wheels off the ground, you've got an unsafe condition, and it's recommended that you either do a 180-degree turn or go find a better parking location. Continue on across the dash. We've got some warning indicators. First one you're going to see is our jacks down, labeled jacks down, lighting up in red. If you went to move the vehicle right now, you would hear a beeping sound and a jacks down indicator lighting up in red, meaning it's not safe to move. The jacks are down. Also, if we had our internet satellite dish up on the roof there in its raised position, locked onto the satellite, the check dish light would be on. If we had the wheelchair door open, this light would come on, and I'll add in a side note there, the only time this light would come on for the wheelchair door open is when you release the parking brake. The wheelchair door open, that light will stay off until such time as you release the parking brake. It will then come on and beep and tell you that your wheelchair door is open as a reminder to the driver. Backup monitor, backup camera, we have that on right now. It will automatically come on when you put the transmission in reverse, or if you press the power button up here, you can have the backup camera and monitor on all the time. It does have a second input. If you're not getting anything coming out or no image on the display, somebody might have bumped the input button. Pressing it again will bring your display back. If you're driving at night with the camera and monitor on, you can dim it down to the night mode. And we've got a contrast, brightness, and we've got a volume control here. The camera mounted top center at the rear of the vehicle has a microphone built into it, so that if you turn up the volume, you will be able to hear your spotter back there. You can see your spotter aiding you in backing, and you'll be able to hear them if they're giving you some directions on safely backing. You're able to see back there the ladder, the rear bumper, and that's going to cover the blind spot as you're backing. The mirrors are primary. When you're backing, you want to have the mirrors properly adjusted, have a spotter back there if possible to aid or guide you, and the use of the monitor camera to cover the blind spot. Below that we have a defrost fan, two-speed fans up on above the windshield there. We have a AM, FM, CD, weather band radio. To get the radio to work, you're either going to have the key on, or you've got a switch over here. It says radio power. I'll turn the key off. Right now we have no radio power. It's in the engine position or normal position going down the highway. If I turn the key on, the radio comes on, and it's working off of the chassis batteries. If you're going to be playing maybe a CD for a lot of hours and you don't want to be using the chassis batteries or engine start batteries, you can press the radio power switch and bring it down to the house position. Now it's working off of the other battery system, and it will work without having to have the key on. If at any time you want to have or find out what the weather is, pressing the weather band or WB button will go out and find National Weather Service.
Today, sunny, highs in the upper 60s.
And
southwest winds spread.
Pushing the volume button and turn it back off again. Down below the radio we have our normal driver passenger air conditioner heater controls. These controls do not have anything to do with heating and cooling the main part of the vehicle. We'll talk about that as we walk to the back. We talked about the radio power switch. Below that is our generator stop start, as it's labeled there. Green light on, meaning that the generator is up and running. It does have a warning label there. When running the generator, turn off the converter breaker prior to driving the vehicle. What that's all about is when we get back to the electrical closet and we're looking at the power panels, you're going to see a circuit breaker back there labeled converter. The converter is an electronic device. It takes part of the incoming house type power, 120, 240 volts alternating current, and converts part of that power to 12 volt DC. What can happen when you're going down the highway and you would have the generator running and the converter on? We'll tell you probably a little more here than you need to know, but we'll go over it for those that have an interest in that area. The drive engine has a high output alternator, and it's providing 12 volt charging to our 12 volt system. The converter back there, when the generator's running, is also going through the converter and putting out a 12 volt charging voltage. The two separate sources tend to conflict with one another or fight against one another, so therefore that's the reason for the label. If you're going down the highway, you happen to have the generator running, turn the converter off. At any other time with the generator running, the converter will need to be on. We'll talk more about that when we get back to the electrical panels in the electrical closet. 12 volt convenience outlet. GPS. We've got a Garmin GPS. There's about a 50-page manual. Tells you all about how to use the GPS for those of you who haven't had an opportunity to use one before. And this is the on-off button in the bottom. Press and hold. And it will allow you to input your destination and choose a variety of voices where you're going to get voice guidance, and a display up there helping you to find your destination. To the right of that, we have a glove compartment, rather large glove compartment there, and also we have a pull-out work tray or work table for the passenger. 2 seats, driver, passenger seat, they both work the same way. We have 2 pull-out levers here on the side. The forward pull-out lever allows the seat to swivel. The rear pull-out lever allows the seat to go back and forth, and the large handle changes the angle of the backrest. There's also an additional knob on the left side of both seats. You might be able to see it better. Cameraman might see it a little better on this one. The big knob there on the left side, that is to change the pressure in the middle of your back, the lumbar adjustment on both seats.